It's a particularly sunny Sunday morning here in Iceland. We've had rain for the past few weeks, so we're happy to have a little bit of sunshine. I'm going to use the opportunity and take you with me on a bit of a cycling trip. I have my mountain bike back here. We're going to go into Heiðmörk, which is the conservation forestry area which forms a southeasterly border around the greater Reykjavik municipal area. Tell you a little bit about that area. But I'm not going to take the straightest route there. I'm going to circle around to the northernmost part of it, which takes me through or on a section of the ring road, and some tricks to getting there, some bad trails and things. It's not going to be the interesting part of the ride, so we're going to skip that, and I'm going to check back in with you once we enter the northern part, where there's a closed off road, which is, well, in I don't know what state of disrepair. I'll see you when we get there. I know I said I wouldn't check in again until we reach the edge of Heiðmörk. We haven't yet. It's just been about 5 kilometers since I last checked in, and I just can't go on further without yammering a little bit. Behind me is Orlís, the last gas station on the way east out of Reykjavik. This is where I'm gonna go past there. There's an underpass, well, somewhere around there, which leads me to a gravel road trail on the northern side, on the other side of the ring road. I'm going to follow that east for a few kilometers. That's a very hard trail, an old track trail road thing, which is extremely hard. I even deflated my tires a little bit for the journey because I know it's demanding on the bike. That should lead us all the way up to where I want to properly start the video. So, well, again, until then, let's see if I can manage a few more kilometers without yammering on. So we've reached the spot. This is where the road ends, or where the road is closed off. And behind me is an old road which used to be open and leads into this area, Heiðmörk, but it's now closed for water conservation purposes. So as I think I mentioned earlier, Heiðmörk is this forestry and conservation area which creates like a wrapper around the southeastern part of the municipal area, from really the eastern exit of the city to the far south. It's an area spanning, I think, about 32 square kilometers. It was established as a conservation area in 1947, and the first planting of trees started in 1950. So for about 75 years, people have been planting trees here. This used to be a quote-unquote barren place, so kind of a typical Icelandic heath or moorland, but now is probably the largest forest in the southwest of the country. It's claimed and believed that Iceland was a lot more forested when settled back in the 9th century, but due to agriculture and deforestation throughout the centuries, was kind of stripped barren of trees. So it's a big thing for us to try to regain some of those forests, to do these forestry things. People do joke a lot around about Iceland not having any trees, and it's a joke that makes a lot of sense. It touches home a little bit when we hear those jokes, though, because we do, I mean, I think there's a big kind of national heart for forestry and trying to regrow these forests, because again, this country wasn't this barren when we came here as humans. But again, Heiðmörk, I think they planted around 4.5 million trees here due to kind of natural just growth and spread. They're estimating that the area has about 11.5 million trees today, over 75 years. Which is wonderful. This is one of Reykjavik's kind of favorite outdoors activities locations, so recreational areas. People, families, individuals go out there in weekends on good good days like this one, and I'm out cycling. I live quite close to the edge, so just a few hundred meters. So I do a lot of running, just walking, cycling in the area, which I absolutely adore. But as we mentioned, things are closed for water conservation purposes, and that's the second nature of Heiðmörk, which is a really important part of, or makes this an important part of Reykjavik's infrastructure. But before we go into any details there, let's head a little bit further in and just explore this unused, closed down road. I'm expecting it to be a little bit broken down and in disrepair, but we'll see. So the reforesting or the planting effort, even though probably organized on a large scale by forestry associations, every town has one of these, is not done officially by the government, by those associations even. It's done by all kinds of small goodwill organizations, non-profits, kind of NGOs, all these kind of small Kiwanis, Lions, Rotary, all these clubs and other kinds of more local clubs which are kind of formed around people from different parts of the country even. They've been coming here for decades to plant trees in their designated areas to turn this into this little oasis around the Reykjavik that it is. But what I wanted to mention is the water conservation part before we get into the properly more dense part in the further to the south, where there's a lot of hiking paths and cycling paths, and there's bound to be quite a bit of foot traffic around on a beautiful day like this. So Iceland has one of the cleanest drinking waters, freshest drinking waters in the world. There are other countries that have fantastic water as well, but this is at least top shelf stuff. Here in Reykjavik, that water comes from Gvendarbrunnar, or the wells of Gvendur, which are actually just down here in Heiðmörk. And the reason is that this big kind of envelope around the municipal area is on a sloping lava field from the Blue Mountains to the southeast, leading towards the city. So rainwater falling in this entire area is filtered through basalt rock, through the lava fields, into subterranean or underground aquifers, from where we are actually pumping our drinking water, with practically no processing or cleaning done after the fact, after we pump it out of those aquifers. It so happens that the low density, low level of industrialized agriculture in Iceland, as well as just this porous basalt lava rock, provides perfect natural filtering conditions for water. So rainwater falls to the ground here, filters over years through those lava fields, ends up in subterranean aquifers, and the forestry or the forests in the area kind of keep the area unspoiled and untouched and undeveloped. And the entire area is a conservation area, and there's a lot of effort happening and ongoing continuously to ensure that there is as little a chance of contamination as possible. As a result, some roads have been closed. So there's a road which led from the ski area, the ski resort area in the Blue Mountains, all the way around to the south, which was, in my youth was always open, but a few years ago that one closed down, so you can no longer drive along the mountain ridge. And again, this is just to conserve the quality of water for the Reykjavik area. But yeah, this is Heiðmörk. I'm gonna continue through. We're about 11 kilometers from home. I'm gonna start circling around now. I don't know if there's a lot more to tell about the area, but I'm gonna enjoy the second part. We're now close to the highest in elevation from home. So through here it's gonna be downhill, quote unquote, racing on the mountain bike through some paths and having a little bit of fun. Again, might have to slow down for some foot traffic. There's a lot of people on a beautiful day in Heiðmörk, and even Björg, my partner, she's training with her trail running group in the area somewhere today, so I might run into them, blocking all of the paths from me, but we'll see. Yeah, well, I'm not going to say goodbye just yet. Let's continue through Heiðmörk. Let's see if we can get some footage there. and we'll get back to you once we get through closer to the lake. We made it down. There's a lot of flies here, always flies close to the lake. We made it down to the lake, lowest point on our trail. I'm standing here by a place called Þingnes, which means Parliamentary Peninsula. Nes is a small peninsula. And there are some archaeological remains here. This actually was it's a parliamentary ground which predates even Þingvellir, the national park. So this was probably one of the first parliamentary locations in Iceland in the 9th century. That being said, this was a little bit of a knick-knacky this and that trip through Heiðmörk, or the northern part of Heiðmörk. There's a vast area further to the south with other interesting features like Búrfell, a nice hiking thing. I've done a video on that in Icelandic in the past. Maybe I'll not, well, I can link to that, but I'll probably also do one in English, kind of an updated one in modern times. So yeah, we had a bit of a cycling trip through here, talked a little bit about the water, a little bit about the forestry effort, had a bit of mountain biking fun. Thanks for coming along, and I hope I'll see you soon in the next video.